African saying that when spider webs unite, they can tie up a lion. Are we together? So this protest act is very important. It is supposed to be a vehicle through which we find our liberation. It must inspire us, but overall, it must bring us together. And we have seen that some of the best artists we have had in Africa have not been by accident. Look at the Congo. Produce a lot of artists. But think of what Belgium did in the Congo. The theft, the plunder, the killing, what have you. What that have not been answered. Nobody has paid for it. We continue as if nothing happened. But now Congo produces that. Look at South Africa. Look at the. So this protest that is coming up from you should keep reminding us that we are human, and as human beings, we have entitlement. And that's the anchor of human rights. Human rights come because we are human beings. They are not anchored on anything else. They are not given by the state. Now, in terms of engaging with the state to deliver on its obligations, as a duty bearer for human rights, our anchor provision in the Constitution should be Article 47, Clause 1. The right to fair administrative action. That is lawful, procedural, and all that. The rule of law. We must fight for the rule of law to be able to anchor our rights properly. And if the dispensation we are going into, the challenges we face now are as a result of disregarding the Constitution of Kenya. You have refused to implement the Constitution. And for me, if you have got to get rights, everybody looks at Article 43. I look at Article 47. If we get proper administrative institutions in place, we will not be protesting. Yesterday, a very, very noble undertaking by people not threatening the state, simply adding their frustrations and demanding that maybe some specific action should be taken by law enforcement to protect women who are vulnerable, who are not able to fight in situations where they are getting killed. Something needs to be done. The killers to be arrested and put away and made an example of, so that somebody fears, basically calling for the rule of law to be applied in instances where women are being murdered in this country by men. Tear gas. That impunity. Doesn't believe that they're above the law. It's one that we should address. And I think we are going in the new year, we are going to address that thing in a very, very dramatic way. We have Article 143, Clause 4, on the immunity of the president. The upper clauses say, okay, the president cannot be touched in civil proceedings, in criminal proceedings, and that. But Clause 4 says, the president can be touched for things that can be prosecuted under international law, including treaties Kenya has signed. We must breathe life into that. And Mr. RUTO must be prosecuted for the abductions, for the corruption. Kenya has signed a treaty against corruption. Doesn't give immunity to anybody on corruption. And for the senseless killing and the violation of the denial of people to organize politically. We must take RUTO to court and prosecute him as an individual. Using the Constitution of Kenya, Article 143, which grants him immunity, does not give him absolute immunity. He's a duty bearer, he's the head of state, He's the commander-in-chief. Is it on commanding these thugs? We must take action. We must read life into that provision. And going forward, human rights, the state requires money to be able to guarantee some rights, like socioeconomic rights and what have you. And this money is public money. Chapter 12 tells us in prescriptive terms, mandatory prescriptive terms, how we must handle public money in this country. And it says, proposals, the government has got the power to tax. But those powers to tax are also controlled, they are contained by Article 40 of the Constitution on property rights. You cannot just begin to come up with a arbitral right. You cannot just take my property and give to another person. You cannot just do whatever. So those rights, and once that money is collected and the loans are taken, it goes into the consolidated fund. And then from the consolidated fund, to take it out, Parliament must appropriate. Rights and Appropriation Act or the budget. And then the controller of budget must supervise how it is used. Today, something very strange happens. The budget, which is supposed to be the only policy document that the Constitution of Kenya requires of the government, means nothing. It's done, it's put there. If you go and look at the monthly statement of actual revenue and net expenditure, which the Treasury publishes every month, on 30th of every month, and you compare it to the budget Parliament has passed, you realize that you are living a lie in this country. There's a complete raid on us. People, the poverty we are experiencing is being caused by the Treasury, which is being run by politicians, and they come up and do whatever they want to borrow, they want to take whatever, they don't care about the budget. And even you hear the president, he goes on a safari, people challenge him, we have got a broken bridge here. Instead of saying, okay, where's your MP, can you bring that thing to the Parliament for it to be included in the budget for next year? He says, when appears, shilingi elfu milioni mbili, tutaweka hapo. Kutoka wapi? And that's what I'm saying. In the Constitution, the Treasury and the Ministry of Finance are supposed to be separate entities. The Treasury must be run by professionals like the Central Bank. The Ministry of Finance, the Minister of Finance and whatever should be for policy, to deal with policy. But once the money has come, it must be managed professionally. When you hear Commissioner Tia saying that they have no money to do their work, that should not happen. Once the budget is passed and is given to the treasurer, like a cashier, he releases the money to the various groups. Not for politicians to hold on to that money and use it the way they want and they starve institutions. So one of the things we need to do is to take control of our public finances and make it impossible for anybody who is president to just order around and the money is given to him or money is put on projects. Money must come through the budget, and when the president midway, you become broke, say, Omtata, never could like a 50. The president should be able to say that if he's having no money. Not to call the treasury and say, you have something. The other day during the Msukosuko, one senator came to me. He said, Omtata, I've been opposing you when you come with this thing. But today I've seen it by my own eyes. We were at State House. And a demand was made for 200 million shillings to be brought. The call was made. And within an hour, cartons arrived. So I'm saying, I don't believe this. And there's no money to employ teachers. There's no money to hire doctors. We cannot continue like that. The control of public money must be taken away from politicians if you want to have human rights in this country. Let the politicians mobilize the policies and collect taxes, but once they are collected, there should be no capacity of a politician to take that money at will. Anything must go through the budget. Then the budget must be implemented by the controller of budget and the treasury as a professional organ. And at the end of the day, they give us a balance sheet to show how they have spent our money. So we cannot talk of human rights within a construct of poverty. Human rights and poverty are anathema. They don't go together. It's an oxymoron to talk of human rights and poverty in the same sentence. You're not a human being. You are created to be rich. Even within a traditional setting, when a child is born, the naming ceremony requires resources. When you are admitted within the family, the naming ceremony requires resources. So we are supposed to live not in poverty, but in wealth. And so, let us know that Article 43 will remain a pipe dream unless we as a people take control of public finances and put it under professional management. Let politicians come up with policies, let them go to the budget, and once included in the budget, then that money can leave the consolidated fund. If we don't do that, we are fooling ourselves. Thank you very much, and may God bless you.
Yes.